And to details, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave his directives to concerned authorities on Thursday to accelerate coordination to receive newborn babies of Gaza. President al-Sisi also responded to an appeal of a Palestinian child injured in the Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip. The head of state directed to provide the child with all aspects of urgent medical care in Egyptian hospitals. The Palestinian child had appealed to doctors in Egypt to treat his foot from amputation. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli said on Thursday, Egypt exerts immense efforts for ending Palestinian suffering in the Gaza Strip. Chairing a weekly cabinet meeting, Madbouli lauded the volunteers' hard work at the Rafah border crossing to prepare and allow aid access to fellow Gazans. The meeting also touched on a number of important domestic files. During the meeting, Minister of Health and Population Khalid Abdel Ghaffar pointed out to Egypt's full readiness to treat Palestinian patients, the latest of which is wounded Palestinian child Abdullah Kohil, who shortly arrived in Egypt for a leg surgery as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's instruction. The minister also hinted at the ambulances and incubators set for babies and adult wounded Palestinians at the border. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry on Thursday held a phone call with Philippe Lazzarini, Commissioner General of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, the UNRWA, where they tackled the latest developments in Gaza Strip. Spokesman of the Foreign Ministry, Ambassador Ahmed Abu Zaid, said that during the phone call, Minister Shoukry asked the General Commissioner about his evaluation for the humanitarian situation in Gaza. For his part, Lazzarini expressed deep concern for the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. In this context, Shoukry reiterated Egypt's commitment to continue all types of support for the Palestinians in order to alleviate their suffering. The foreign minister concluded that all international parties should urge Israel to stop targeting civilians and civilian facilities. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry reiterated on Thursday that Palestinians could not be forced out of their homes. Shoukry asserted that the forced displacement policy adopted by the Israeli Occupation Authority against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip is considered a war crime. The foreign minister's remarks came during his meeting with foreign and Arab reporters on the situation in Gaza. The top diplomat called for a two-state solution as being the only way of the current crisis, despite the Israeli wrangling about this issue. Shoukry expressed hope the United States take a supportive stance for a ceasefire in Gaza. He also hoped Egyptian efforts could lead to a quick release of hostages held in the war-torn Strip. Egypt welcomed the UN Security Council Resolution number 2712 for 2023 addressing the humanitarian situation in Gaza. In a statement released by the Foreign Ministry, Egypt reiterated the urgent implementation of what was included in the resolution concerning the ceasefire and safe humanitarian zones to transform the injuries. The UN adoption sends a critical message to Israel, reminding it of its obligations under the international humanitarian law, with a particular eye on protection of children. The resolution calls for urgent and extended humanitarian pauses and corridors required for the immediate provision of children's essential needs and to prioritize the rescue of children who lie buried under rubble in Gaza. And to details, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli witnessed on Thursday the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Egyptian Company for Electricity Transportation and the Belgian Company for Maritime Cables and Services. The agreement aims at boosting cooperation in the field of exporting renewable energy from Egypt to Europe. Meanwhile, Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy Mohammed Shakir asserted that the MOU comes within the framework of enhancing partnership between Egypt and the European continent in the energy domain. The minister added that the agreement also stipulates the two companies will establish a maritime network at the capacity of 2 gigawatts. Egypt's stock market indices soared on Thursday, being bolstered by purchasing operations by Arab and foreign investors. The main EGX 30 index soared 1.01%. The small and medium EGX 70 index soared added 0.97%. The EGX 100 index added 7,159.64 points. The overall transactions and dealings within this session reached £28.4 billion.